At least it's not 3:33. Okay, here we go. Hello, welcome to the U2 Podcast, episode number 89. This is the podcast where we talk all things U2, and we record it live on Twitch, Periscope, and maybe Mixer, if that one's working too. Anyways, welcome to the show. Welcome back to the show, Mr. Matt McGee.
Hello, Chris. We don't record live on Tinder?
I don't...
Oh!
Wait, I think... Isn't there actually like a Tinder Live or something where you can like... I saw people doing like an Apple
You're
TV.
talking to the wrong guy.
I know. I'm actually talking to our next guest, or welcoming back, not a guest. She's a regular. Jill, back to the show. Hi, Jill.
Hello. Tinder Live, they actually do a thing in New York. It's like a stage show, and people, I think, read Tinder profiles live. It's like an actual thing. So Tinder Live exists.
That sounds terrifying. I saw an Ellen segment where she was like swiping left or whatever with like a guest. I can't imagine if your like thing popped up on there and you had to know whether Ellen approved of you or whoever her guest was.
Why put your thumbs through that? It's like, why? You know?
Why put your thumbs through that?
Too much
That's
swiping.
Awesome. Yeah, true. All right, so Jill's back from across the pond. I guess depends where you're listening, but maybe your side of the ocean, I guess, but over in Europe for a little jaunt over to see the boys, right? Mm-hmm. And we'll get to that in a moment. But before we do any little miscellaneous items, Matt, there's a few things we had covered, or we haven't covered, I guess, since we last recorded. The thousandth known performance of Pride happened since last we recorded. Is this true?
Yeah, I think it did happen since last week. The tour's crew, Ross and Brian and John and everyone that tracks this sort of stuff religiously, let us know that there was, what was it like? I don't know, a week or so ago, right? 2 weeks ago, there was the 1000th known performance of Pride, which is among known performances, the number one song, but it's actually I Will Follow because there's so many shows that U2 played, in 79, since I Will Follow was written, so 80, 81, 82, those early days when there are no set lists known and they used to play I Will Follow twice a show and all that sort of stuff. So I Will Follow is surely the song they've played the most. If you just kind of, make some assumptions, but in terms of known set lists, and our crew has listened to every live recording. I mean, my gosh, from every show that has a live recording, they have listened to it to confirm all the set lists. And so, Pride just cracked over 1,000. So
wow.
There you go. That's a lot of performances of one song.
Yeah.
And it's nice that they sort of rejigged the intro a little bit on this tour and freshened it up a bit. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay. Don't get ahead of ourselves, though, Matt.
Sorry.
I have a question. So you know how like you guys are married, you'll understand. Like when there's like an anniversary, so it's like the diamond, the paper. So what do you get for like 1,000 performances? Like what does like you two do? Like what is it?
As if,
it's a big deal.
Yeah, you're asking Matt and I if we remember, like if we
paper, wood, metal, aluminum. Like I don't know. Like
yeah,
I think Adam gets a new kimono, is what it is.
A gold kimono, maybe.
A gold kimono.
Okay.
Literally, my dog just groaned at that joke. What is your problem over there?
Because he didn't get a Halloween costume. He's mad.
Yeah,
exactly right.
And one thing that Tim Jahar, Matt was bugging me before. At Tim Jar, he says, I say it's Jahar because it's Jahr. I don't want to disrespect.
The H is silent. The H is silent.
But I don't
like
know
the H in your first name is silent.
Chris? Yeah.
We don't say Haris.
Oh, good point.
Do you ever see on Family Guy when they were talking about that, and he's like, you don't pronounce Cool Whip like Cool Whip like that?
See?
Yeah, right? Cool Whip.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's how you say that. Cool Whip.
I think it's just Tim Jar.
Okay, we'll go with Tim Jar. Yeah. All right. Sorry, Tim. We've used up all your time talking about your last name. We can't actually read your tweet. No, he sent a tweet using hashtag AskGuy2 on Twitter, asking again, does anybody else make sure to listen to the October album in October of every year? Do you guys have an October album tradition in October?
No. I do not.
Okay.
Nope.
Well, short discussion. Yes. Thanks for playing, Tim. The couple of spoilers. Well, not spoiler. One spoiler, but two things that happened outside of the actual concerts in Europe that we recently that YouTube recently had. Did you go to the Rattle and Hum? We talked about Rattle and Hum 30th anniversary in the last episode, and they had a special Rattle and Hum screening in Dublin, and Adam and the Edge decided to pop in at that screening. And Jill, did you by chance happen to get there? You didn't go to Dublin, did you?
No, did not go to Dublin.
All right. Well, another short segment. we don't have any live coverage of that, but apparently it went well, I guess. They took photos.
They did.
Yeah.
It looked
They
fun.
RSVP'd. They showed up, so It's great. I wonder if they both got the free poster that everybody else got. So
right. And now, so the one item.
Everybody.
Go ahead, Matt.
Everybody in the crowd in that photo, everybody in the crowd behind them is just like sitting there like, there's Adam and Edge up there. And I'm just like,
I'd have cried. I would have been like, there's me sobbing. There's me. Hi, guys.
Like, is the Dublin audience that cool that it's like, oh, yeah, there's Adam and Edge just right up there. No big deal. We're just
that jaded. Yeah. Yeah. Let us know if some real celebrities come in. Yeah.
That's right.
But what spoiler alert, I guess, don't listen to the next, let's say 5 to 10 minutes if you don't want to know about a song that was rehearsed in Belfast and in lieu of what's coming up possibly in Dublin in the next, where are we here? When do they perform in Dublin? Somebody tell me.
4 days from now.
4 days from as we record. So, yeah. Okay, so that's a spoiler warning. I don't know if I have a spoiler horn.
Like a sound effect?
It's sort of like, here we go with...
Turn down for what?
Spoilers. Okay. How's that?
Wow.
There's your spoiler horn. Okay, so you've been alerted. There's a spoiler coming. So they rehearsed a fairly detailed rehearsal, not just like quickly whipped it out, but Dirty Day from Zooropa. And not only that, but they actually played, kind of like told a little story with it. And so I'll just play a little clip of it, and you can go find it online if you so desire. I think we'll have the link in the show notes. There's nothing illegal about linking to things on the internet, is there? Anyway.
No. My father, Bob Hewson, was a tenor. He didn't take me too seriously because he could see I was doing a great job of that myself. But he did give me a lot of other advice. And I can still hear his voice. I don't know you. You don't know the half of it. There it is. That's him. At a starring role, was the bad guy who walked out. Yep. They say be careful where you aim. 'Cause where you aim, you just might hit.
Just had to wait along for Edge's extreme falsetto there. That was pretty good. So what do you make of this? It's a nice little, the whole thing is obviously a story of, sort of what we've more or less heard before of how the band formed, thanks to Larry, and how they were trying to like influence their dads or get respect from their dads, and but told sort of storytelling in the midst of Dirty Day lyrics, which kind of segue nicely between the little segments of the story that Bono tells. And all leads up to an intro into Zoo Station, I think, is what it sounded like they were going to do. What did you guys listen to it, the whole thing before that? Have you listened to it?
I didn't.
No? That was the first time you heard it?
I didn't know. I mean, I'm not really like a spoilers person where I'm like, oh, they rehearsed this. I'm like, okay, like I'll, if they play it live, they play it live, and that's great. And yeah, I'm not really one to be like, oh, they rehearsed this, and I'm gonna like anytime like people are posting on social media like, oh, I overheard this at soundcheck and here it is. I just take their word for it that they did it. It's like I don't know necessarily.
Right. Oh, Joe froze again. So Matt, jumping to you. Did you listen to it before the whole thing, or what did you think of it?
Usually I'm in the same boat as Jill. I try not to listen to the spoiler type stuff because so often they will rehearse things and never play them. Because sometimes they're rehearsing for non-concert reasons or whatever it might be, right?
Yeah.
But on our Slack, there was so much discussion about this on our Slack and on Twitter and all this. So I was like, all right, I got to figure out what this is. I thought it sounded really freaking great. I mean, just the it's that's I would not have picked that song to be used in the way that they're using it, because I don't think of that song as sort of an autobiographical song, but obviously I don't know as much about the song as I thought I did. So
Yeah.
I think it's, I mean, obviously, and the recording that Joe posted sounds fantastic, obviously, but yeah, it's really interesting. And there's a couple times where there's some voice correcting, because Bono will say, give the wrong
Yeah.
cue or whatever it is. So there's a couple corrections in there. But yeah, no, I agree with what you said. It sounds really, really like an almost finished product. Like, not just a little, let's just randomly try this song out. It sounds like something that they're ready to debut in Dublin. Because there's one point when he's doing the rap part in between the verses, and he says something about four boys returning home. So it sounds like that sort of is like a cue that it could be played later this week, or next week in Dublin. I hope so.
Yeah, it seems like maybe a special thing just for Dublin, which would be kind of cool. I think that'd be awesome. Obviously, it'd be even better to be there for that, but not all of us can. So
Hashtag extreme falsetto.
Exactly. I was wondering if Edge would, so the recording is what's typically called, I think, an in-ear monitor, IEM recording, where it's like a wire. It's because of the sound folks running around the arena have in-ear monitors, and the band does too, and they're wireless, and so there's a frequency obviously where that audio gets sent out, and people are able to, I guess, hack or sneak a recorder into that somehow, into that Wi-Fi or whatever stuff that is. And so that's why you hear like the folks under the stage counting the drums in, and little cues for the band as to when to go in and when to not, and all that kind of stuff, which is kind of neat to hear. But yeah, I'm with you, Matt, where I don't usually pay attention to this stuff, and until after the tour is done, it's kind of neat to go back and say, oh, they rehearsed whatever and they didn't play it, and rather than getting your hopes up that they're going to do something. But yeah, this one kind of felt kind of neat because it's like basically a whole thing, start to finish, and obviously they've practiced this in some form before they did it on stage, or at least very secretively did it without anybody knowing and recording it. So yeah, we'll see what happens, I guess, in Dublin in a few weeks, or next week, I guess. So let's see, where are we going next? We're gonna go. I think that's it actually for miscellaneous stuff.
Miscellaneous news
spoilers.
items.
That's it.
That's it. That's all. Nothing. I know. Were you hoping for something more intense? Yeah.
I was like, okay, that's it.
So I guess I don't know how we tell all the folks who stopped listening that it's now safe to start listening again, but
just wave at them.
Yeah, you're allowed.
Come on back.
Actually, in the chat room over on Periscope, Top Deco 75 says they were there at the. I'm assuming they were referring to the Rattle and Hum thing, but maybe they're talking about the Dirty Day rehearsal. But he said they spoke for about 10 minutes. So there you go. It was good. That's all we got. All right.
So if Dirty Day comes before Zoo Station, does that mean it's like going to replace Beautiful Day, or is it going to be in addition? Or I don't know. I'm kind of, you just kind of wrap things up, and I'm opening that door again. But anyway.
Well, that's fair.
I guess
it sort of segues into what happens. But I guess, what do you think they would do? Because that's sort of the All Because of You spot, maybe, or I guess Beautiful Day, right? Blackout Lights of Home, I Will Follow, All Because of You, Beautiful Day, Zoo Station, right? It does kind of basically make that first set almost completely Zoo TV,
right?
Era set, which is interesting. So, that's a nice little segue actually into what Jill is here to talk about, among other things, besides Tinder Live.
Oh, but okay. I got frozen again. I had to join back in here, so I hope I don't get end call, join the call and stuff. So hopefully
that's okay. You pause and we'll just catch up again. So for the roundtable, we want to talk about the Innocence and Experience European setlist changes and various staffers that we've had who've been at the show. Some of them are able to be here, obviously. Well, one of them is able to be here, and actually we had some audio from Kenny that we'll play in a bit. But for you, Jill, I guess you have the unique ability to compare the North American show to the European show, and then sort of all the setlist changes obviously is a big point of discussion. But maybe just like, what was your trip like going over there to see the band, first of all?
I always tell people they're the only reason I'd ever really go overseas. It's I have no excuse to ever go to Europe unless it's to see them. And when they started doing the set changes, I don't know what show it was when they started like when they really cut the innocent stuff out and they were slowly adding the like Octane Baby things in. Was it Milan?
Sounds
Amsterdam, I think.
Amsterdam? Okay. Because when they started
Somewhere.
doing it, and I was like seeing, I was like, oh my God, like if they keep this for like London, I'm like, I'm out. Like I'm done. Like get me out of there on a stretcher. Like I'm gonna be like going nuts. So to see that they were like keeping with it, I was like, wow, this is gonna be pretty like incredible because I'm still the one who I mean, I Innocence is still my favorite album over Experience, and I love that segment of the show. I love Cedarwood Road and Iris and Raised by Wolves and loved it. It was for that first leg of the tour back in 2015. Like those were parts that I remember. And then, as they were, seeing it again in America, North America, I was like, okay, it still holds up. It's great. And then to go to London and to see it all reworked without that, and the songs that they picked, like Wild Horses, Zoo Station, it all just fit so perfectly. And it's like I kind of wonder like how long they were sitting on this idea and wondering like what show are we gonna kind of drop this into, and like is it gonna work? And it was so perfect. Like I can't I can't believe I got to see that happen. And I think the crowd really appreciated it. I think having a European crowd compared to an American crowd isn't also a different experience, because it's like I don't think some of the shows that I went to they would have appreciated hearing Stay and
right.
like being that emotional, because it's like I feel like the only show that I could, because right now like the London shows were like perfect. Like I probably like my favorite shows of this entire tour, and the only American show that could top that would be the Apollo show, and that doesn't even count because it wasn't even part of the tour. So it's just on that level because it's, I don't know, they seemed really like just happy on stage and just really like happy to be there and like seeing like everyone just like enjoying it. And I think Europeans understand it a lot better than American crowds. And does this all make sense? Like I want to try to sound like articulate and everything, but no, it's true, because I'm like, well, I don't want to like talk out of like.
No, it's good. You're talking. Yeah. Which shows did you actually see? First of all, I guess of the
London
European.
1 and 2.
London 1 and 2.
And
okay.
London 1 is obviously the better one because it had Gloria. So.
Oh yeah.
That gives it the edge. That gives it #the edge.
So yeah, Caroline was in the chat was saying the first changes were at Copenhagen 2 is what she said, but they've been working on it since the start of the tour. And GFSZK in Twitch chat said they went to Hamburg 1 and had a tour debut of Zoo Station. It was amazing, especially in the context of German Unity Day. So yeah, I think that there's just like,
oh my God.
Yeah,
literally, I was like, what? Seriously, I hadn't heard that since I think 2005, like on the Vertigo tour. And like 2005, I was in college. I didn't know what I was doing with my life. And now here I am. I'm a grown adult and I'm like a totally different place. And I'm like, it's so much meaning. It's great. So I was glad. I feel like they thought of me when they were choosing it.
Let's just say they did. We have no until they tell us otherwise. What?
Yep.
Great.
You can't tell
Thank
us
you.
they didn't.
Perfect.
Yeah. And that is, I mean, in European, I think you're alluding to what you're getting at too, is that those albums were and are very Europe focused to begin with. And maybe that's why they left so much of it off the North America. Maybe they wanted to do that all along, but like Caroline sort of said, maybe they've been planning to do it all along, but they just knew that the North American audience wouldn't really maybe care, I guess. I don't know.
And especially because like I'll admit it, like I don't care. Like I feel like the Mohegan Sun show was garbage. Like I kind of wish I didn't go to that. Like it was probably like my least favorite show of the tour. I didn't like the crowd. I didn't like the setting. I didn't think they should have even like played that venue. It was just like not a great show. And a crowd like that would not have appreciated those set list changes, especially when they were still going to go get beers during like I Will Follow or whatever. And it's just like, what are you doing here? Like, what is the point? So to see like the crowd just get so into it. And even Act 2, when they were doing they took out Desire and they put Even Better Than the Real Thing, I was like, this is it. This is all I need in my life right now. I'm so here for it. Like, I was so excited. It was great. It was so great.
So were you in GA or in a seat, or what did you do?
Yeah, I was with K Money, K Dog, Kenny.
Okay.
K Money. I like this.
Speaking of K Money.
He doesn't. Oh my God, are you gonna play Kenny?
Yeah,
I'm
why
so
don't we just
excited.
jump to his clip? I don't.
K Money.
I'm trying to think of
K-Dog.
like, what do I have that I can like? I need some sort of music to cue him up now. He's got that kind of name, but
It should be a bagpipe.
yeah, I guess.
You have that?
I don't have any bagpipes, so we'll just go right into. Anyways, here's Kenny, who was at London 1 and 2, and I forget what else he was at. Manchester, maybe.
Manchester, yeah.
Yeah. So let's cue him up. Here we go.
My first memories of Rattle and Hum, walking down Union Street in Glasgow, seeing the front cover.
Wait, this is the wrong clip.
That's Rattle and Hum,
That's
man.
last week's clip. Okay, somebody stall for me. Matt, ask Jill a question while I go find Kenny's
I
actual
want to
one.
make Kenny's voice my ringtone. How do we do that?
Yeah, I do too.
It's so good. Like butter. It's so good.
Yeah.
Well, if I need to stall, I'll ask Jill the same question I asked you earlier. Jill, have you seen the viral video, The Wonky Donkey?
What? No.
I meant stall with a YouTube thing.
Oh, I didn't know you
No.
wanted it to be on topic stalling.
I was thinking since we're recording a YouTube podcast,
Oh.
it might have something to do with YouTube, but that's okay. Okay, I think I got. Jill, well, I guess you might as well answer the question because people are wondering. I'm sure. Have you
I
seen?
don't know what that is.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
I
it's
don't know
this.
what that is.
There's a book. Sorry to go off topic. You edit this out later if you need to.
No,
Chris.
it's in.
But there's a book called The Wonky Donkey, and there's a video that went around a couple months ago, and it's one of those things where people tell you that you have to watch it because it's funny, and you're like, no, that doesn't sound funny, but then you actually watch it, and you almost pee your pants because it's this Scottish woman reading this book called The Wonky Donkey to her little grandkid, and with her, between her accent and the words in the book and the way she does not handle the words in the book, it's just the funniest thing. And I saw it about 2 weeks ago, and because she's Scottish, it made me think of Kenny, and I want to hear Kenny read the book now.
Oh my God. Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
On that note, here's Kenny, the real one.
So, some thoughts on the Experience and Innocence tour. You two are tight. They're playing so well. I've waited months to see this. I've avoided spoilers as best I possibly could. Had a bit of a rough idea around about what the set list was like. So I've done Manchester, London and Belfast to date. Still some Dublin shows to come. How would I rate that? Let me think. I think Belfast 1 would be my top, followed by London 1, followed by Belfast 2, and then I guess London 2, and then the two Manchester shows, interestingly enough, it would be my bottom shows at the moment, and you know, they were, interestingly enough, my first shows. What differentiates? Well, it isn't the set list, because let's face it, the set list is pretty static, and I have to say that is a disappointment, and you know, whilst you know that's kind of very U2, you know, there's a lot of effort goes into the screening, the theatrics and the story. Could there be a bit more thought going into varying the some of the songs? Absolutely. Highlights for me would be, actually, ironically, some of the older songs. New Year's Day is awesome. They've really mixed that up. Gloria, well, what can I say? That just kind of, you know, that's always a great song for me. Acrobat, wow, really intense. They play it so well, but interestingly enough, the crowd, it just seems to kind of fall silent on that one. I think the vast majority of people in there actually don't have a clue what's going on, apart from the hardcore fans. And actually, I guess if I was going to sum up my sort of thoughts and views for the casual U2 fan, I think this is a really hard tour. It actually is, for me, probably, you know, it's a very U2 set list as opposed to anything else. So from my own perspective, I've really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the Dublin shows, but likewise I'm actually looking forward to a wee bit of U2 downtime, because I think they look like they're looking forward to some U2 downtime. apart from, it has to be said, Mr. Clayton, who just looks so relaxed, loves the crowd loves him back, and that in itself is a personal highlight. So, great tour. Guys are playing really, really well. Fly awesome, all the Zoo TV stuff, awesome. And as an aside as well, just before I finish, I think that's them putting a marker down for there will be no anniversary tour, because that's gone really Zoo TV heavy, and I can't see them then coming out and playing any more of that album on an anniversary basis like they did with the Joshua Tree. So, as I say, loving it. But highlights of some of the older stuff. The newer songs are coming across really well. Summer of Love, etc. But wee bit disappointed about the staticness of the set list. Nothing really new there. And I'll certainly be signing off in style in Dublin.
Nice. So, Jill, I saw you nodding along with some of the stuff. So, I actually, speaking of not listening to stuff, I haven't really actually listened to the way that they've reworked New Year's Day, right? That's the one that. So what's the without, obviously we could just play it, but like without doing that, I guess, in the absence of that, what's the change, I guess, and how's it give it a different feel?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds obviously different than like other live versions and like the album version. I mean, it's very focused on like the European Union, and then when we were there in London, they focused a lot about like Brexit and how the EU would be less without the UK in it, and and touching on the song, I Will Be With You Again, is just really heavy, and to have like the European flag and like the backdrop, like it was the European Union flag. It was just like a really kind of like deep theme for them to touch on, and I think the crowd really appreciated it, because like once they started playing New Year's Day, like they just like erupted. Like it was really amazing to see that. And also Summer of Love, I forgot about that. Summer of Love is 1,000 times better than Staring at the Sun, like hands down, like better, like just better. And they kept, also side note, they kept Lady Gaga's backing vocal in it, so future Oscar winner Lady Gaga in the YouTube tour. It's amazing. It's great.
I was going to say earlier when you said who would you go to Europe for, I'm surprised you didn't say Gaga would be somebody.
I wouldn't. I love her, but like not
okay.
enough. I love her, but like still. And there was something else Kenny said. Oh, I also agree with about them doing a lot of this heavy like Zoo TV stuff, because he doesn't think they will actually do the tour. I kind of agree that too. I think they want to break. I think they want to be dads and just like be at home and just like go to the south of France and like make music and just hang out and just like relax. Like, and I feel like a lot of times the fandom is very, I'm not trying to like start anything by saying this, it's just like, we like having them around and we like seeing them and having them tour and bring out new music and everything, but it's like they need to just like chill and have a break and relax and just enjoy themselves, enjoy life, and just, come back when we feel like it. My credit card wants them to, so take a break. It's fine.
That's probably the biggest thing, yeah. Yeah, Caroline in the chat says I should check out, I'm assuming she's talking about New Year's Day, GFSZK. See, I can't pronounce that, right? That's GFSZK. Says New Year's Day was definitely a highlight and dramatic in such a good way, says Lilia Chan. And Caroline said the segue from SOL.
Summer of Love.
Summer of Love.
To Pride.
Into Pride was amazeballs, is what is her quote. Yeah.
So good. And what did
like the love. He's repeating it over, and then
Yeah, and then he gets like the megaphone, and then it's random. People are watching Bono, and then it's like, oh my god, like Edge is over there, like in the pit. It's like nobody's like noticing. It's like amazing.
Jill, what did you think? What did you think of the new intro to the show?
Oh yeah, it's great. Should have done it in America.
Yeah,
so good. Everything in Europe is better. It was so great. It was great. And it was great. And I like, what did Kenny mention? He said about how like the European audiences appreciated like the set list more and everything. And I kind of like, I'm glad that I feel like they should have just called this tour like instead of like experience and innocence, just call it like sorry, not sorry. Because guess what? Not playing Joshua Tree, not playing anything from there. You came here to get With or Without You. Not happening. Sorry, not sorry. We're doing a whole narrative. We're doing thematic elements. Whatever you thought you were gonna get the tree, guess what? Did it last year. Should have been there. Sorry. So what? I'm glad they're not giving into just like, snippets, nothing to kind of please a lot of these casual fans who are like, I'm going to see U2 just to see U2. And I'm going to go out and buy a $16 beer and go see U2, but not pay attention to it. And maybe they'll do, I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Guess what? Now you're sitting through like a whole new album without realizing it. So what?
Yeah.
Sorry.
There we go.
Well.
That's the episode title as well.
I love it. I love it. And it's like, I love things like that. And it's just like, I like new music. I like that. I might be in the minority where it's like, I think 13's a great closer. I think it's perfect. I think it ties it all up. I think it just ends it right there. The only thing, I never really like one live. I think compared to the album version is like the pinnacle. It's just beautiful, and I just never like it live. So that might be like one song where I'm like, do we really have to? I mean, I know it fits in the show, but it's like I could do without it. But that might be the one. That might be the song where I'm like, but 13, here for it, 1000%. Light bulb, keep doing it. It's great.
Chris,
it's great.
We need to make a note that I want to do a one appreciation podcast one of these days. Because I feel like I need to defend it every podcast I'm on. Somebody else on the podcast.
I love it. I just don't like it live, and I don't like when Bono asks us to sing along. That's it. That's it.
Well, we'll have the one. We'll have one, and there'll be the for and against, and it'll be you can send in your clips, you can send in your arguments, and then Matt will respond to each one. At Bitbroken Mike said on Twitter, using hashtag AskGuyU2, went to see the EI tour in London. Brilliant show, and thought they did a great job weaving the Acton Baby story in almost seamlessly. Wonder what the stateside fan base think about this change from the leg. And I think you're hearing the stateside. Jill is our stateside fan base representative.
Stateside. I think the hardcore fans, American fans, I know they exist. I know they're, I know a lot of them. And I think they love it too. But it's like, I think the fans who are like, oh, U2 are playing, let me go see them. It's like, I don't think they'll understand the significance of it. And I think they were the ones who were like, oh, didn't I see them do these elements like in 2015? Oh, I'm just going to go use the bathroom and like forget it. And it's just like, Europe wasn't really doing that. Like when they were doing The Fly, oh my God, The Fly was oh my God, look, The Fly was so great. The graphics, I'm getting so sentimental right now. Like like seeing it. Yeah, you had to be there. You had to be there.
There we go.
You had to be there. It was so great.
GFSZK also said the new songs work so well except for You're the Best Thing, which was the only disappointment for me.
Oh, true. Agree. I don't like it. I don't.
Oh, Jill cut out. I'm thinking Jill is actually just GFZK in the chat, and she just keeps commenting, and then so that we go back to a song that I think we'll just have to like list each song and get Jill's immediate gut reaction. That's probably the best way to do this recap.
That would be a fantastic plan. Yes. I'll just go back real quick to what both Kenny and Jill touched on with. I'm not convinced. I'm not the fact that they're adding a few of these Achtung Baby songs in now. I don't think that diminishes the chances that they'll do an anniversary tour in 2021. I don't know. I've been thinking on the same thing, and I can see how you would think that, and I think it's a valid conclusion to come to. But I just think when the time comes, I don't think they're going to have an album done by then. That's just because that's the way they work, right? I mean, when are we going to get another album? Like 5 years, 10 years if we're lucky? Who knows? But I just think that the opportunity will be too great. I think if they liked the Joshua Tree tour last year as much as they say they did, and if that's not just like, company spin, then I think they will recognize that the opportunity is too great in 2021 and do the anniversary tour, even regardless of the fact that they've added so many Achtung Baby songs. here
Yeah,
in
it could be
2018.
like a teaser. They see this as a teaser, like, hey, remember how good Octung Baby stuff was?
Yeah.
Now we're going to come back in a couple of years and just like do that whole thing. The only part of it that makes me think they wouldn't is Zoo TV, just staging wise, feels like it needs a lot of work in order to work as a like reimagining whatever the stage would look like, right? Production elements.
Yeah.
And whereas Joshua Tree was certainly they it's not that they didn't do much with the production elements, but it was like a screen with some amazing imagery and a few videos, but not like how are we going to incorporate 60,000 screens on the. Oh, I see, Matt. You have a hand.
What?
I think I can. I'll just without hopefully getting in trouble. But from what I understand, Willie Williams has a list of where all the Trabants are in the world right now. So just FYI.
Wait, can people watch this, or are they just hearing us?
They can see us. Yeah.
They're
Oh,
seeing.
okay, cool.
and-
Okay, cool. No, because like speaking of Zoo TV, hold on, I have to like find it. Wait, I have to turn the
Okay,
light
while
on
you're doing
my
that, I
phone.
was going to say there is some. I just watched the whether you like Coldplay or not. I just saw a video from their tour, and they had like everybody in the crowd had wristbands with coded some sort of like programmable color
Taylor
coding.
Swift did it too. Yeah,
Right.
when I saw Taylor Swift, it would light and flash during certain parts of the show. It was really cool.
Yeah,
and
like-
then you could recycle them after.
Right, and so that's why there's
okay.
a whole bunch of audience interactivity stuff that they could definitely incorporate if they wanted to. That's the very minimal even level stuff, but yeah. Okay, so Jill.
Okay,
on
are you
location
ready
in
to
her-
have your head in my apartment? Hey,
Yeah.
okay. So you guys ready to have like your heads like explode? This is crazy.
Wait.
So like you.
Wait. I need to go
Wait,
like
what?
just to Jill. There we go. Okay.
Okay. So years ago, like before I moved to New York, I want to say it was Christmas 2011, 2010. A friend of mine gave me this for Christmas. I can't really wear it out because it's like twice my size, but I feel like, let's say they do this tour, I'm gonna have to bust it out. So it's a Zoo TV crew
Whoa.
jacket
yeah.
that
Yes.
the staffers had, and this is the back. Oh wait, shit. Oh, sorry guys. It's this. So that's the back.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Nice.
so the front, and it's like the U2 is the same that they had, because I have that Vertigo tour shirt that they use that logo. It was like
That's
U2
pretty
was
sweet.
Madison Square Garden. So it's this, and my friend's grandfather worked at the factory where they made these jackets, and the factory closed, and she had gone to like the warehouse, I guess, and she like saw it, so she gave it to me for Christmas, because she's like, oh yeah, I got a Billy Joel one. I saw this and I thought of you, and I was like, shut up. So I have this. So if they do this tour, I'm gonna
You're
have
ready.
to I gotta sweat. I gotta wear it. I'm gonna wear fly shades
Every
too. Yeah,
show.
It's happening.
Yeah.
Every show is happening.
And then
Happening.
people will come up and ask you where the bathrooms are because you
Yeah,
got the shirt.
yeah. But I didn't. It's funny because I never played varsity sports in school, so that's the closest I'll get to a varsity jacket. So
That's just as good. Yeah.
That's better than a varsity jacket.
better.
As far as I'm concerned.
I know, right? Like Willie Williams probably has that same jacket.
I
Exactly.
wish I did.
Yeah.
I've seen that. I love that jacket. That's really, really cool. I'm totally jealous, Jill.
I remember to bring it with me. I didn't want my mom to put it in the storage unit, so I was like, do I have that jacket with me? I brought that with me, but my Instinct Barbie doll is in the storage unit, so priorities.
Fair enough. Do you have all 5? I don't know how many instincts there are.
Oh no, it was Barbie, and she was an
Oh.
NSYNC fan. It was NSYNC Barbie, so she had like an NSYNC shirt. She came with a backstage pass, and yeah, it was NSYNC Barbie.
See, why U2 has never branched out into that kind of market. I don't know why. What? Yeah. Anyways, at Harko Plegman said, why do they put so much Acton Baby songs in an Experience Innocence tour? I think we've kind of answered that, but I guess I think swing towards the lot of fans who really like Acton Baby and so aren't really complaining too much that there is a bunch of Acton Baby
Also,
songs.
why do they have a song with Intellectual Tortoise? Okay, like there's a lot of things we just don't understand. We just kind of have to roll with it.
Those are all the things we'll ask Bono when we get to heaven, and we're like, yeah, I got through the
Oh my
gates.
god, I would ask him waiting for autographs. I'd be like, hey, like, whoa, Intellectual Tortoise, where'd it come from?
Right.
What are we doing?
At D_Slowy said, Manchester 1 was the best I've seen them live 4 times going back to Vertigo Tour. The Acton Babies Europa editions in Europe definitely welcome. Songs of Experience material worked extremely well live. Personally feel lack of Joshua Tree songs helped give pride and one added importance, which I think we've kind of all...
Also, Blackout's still awesome.
Yeah?
Ugh, Blackout's great. Blackout's probably like one of my favorite songs on the record. Blackout and Lights of Home. It all just clicks together. Like Blackout, Lights of Home, and then kind of going into like Gloria, which they should just keep forever and ever. So.
And Wild Horses, as a song, like with the stadium singing along with you, or is it kind of
Yeah.
like a deeper cut? I don't have a sense of how that one sits with a big crowd, you know?
I actually get because I think it closes Act One where
Yeah.
Until the End of the World used to close Act One, and I kind of prefer Wild Horses, even though like I feel like U2 saved a lot of money not doing Until the End of the World. They saved money on confetti, so it's like they don't have to like deal with all that stuff coming down. So they switch songs, but it's nice because towards the end of the song, like they all kind of crowd next to Larry's drum kit. And I have like a really good photo that I took of that. And it's just like nice to kind of see them all come together. Whereas Until the End of the World, it was like you just saw the waves and like Adam and Larry would be playing, but Edge would still be in the cage and like Bono would be, I think, at the E stage. So it was nice to kind of see them all together. And then the screen would kind of like come, I think it like came down and then it would like come up. So they were like, you couldn't see them anymore, but they were all like together. So I liked how that worked.
Yeah. And how about how does the European crowds sit with something like City of Blinding Lights? So are we
It's
just going to go
great.
through all the songs?
And then they were showing like the London, like London graphics of like the city. So it was like really great to see that. And like the video of Cyan is just, it's beautiful. And I think that they just love it. Like the chorus and it's great. So I think that still went along like really well. So I'm glad they kept that.
Yeah, GFZ. I mean, we need a new name for GIFs. Anyway, Zoo Station, Into Stay, Into Horses works really well. I'm so jealous that you guys all got to hear Stay because that's one of my favorite U2 songs. And then Lilia Chan said, I was a bit bummed that they lower the screen on Larry just as he's doing that amazing drum solo. Come on, we want to see that in full.
Yeah. But guess what? He kept those glasses though, so it's like it evens out a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, his name is, he says Jeff, so we'll go with Jeff. And then how's, like, as far as the ending of the concert now, still having obviously 13, there's a light at the very end with Bono, I'm assuming, sort of, I haven't seen videos, but like walking out the same way he did in North America, right? How's that, how's the show kind of like as the show ends and the lights come up and, you know, as people leave, is it kind of just that same?
People were leaving right after one.
Oh, really?
So like Love is Bigger would start and just people were kind of like weeding out and you know by the time 13 started it's like you know you could see empty seats and I think once 13 ended and then like the lights went out and they were like oh so this is like the end and people were probably like so we're not getting With or Without You okay but it's true and like I said I think it works and I think it's having that ending, I think a lot of U2 fans would understand that because it's like, oh, experience has been like achieved.
Right.
Having that as the end song. So I personally think it works. I think, you know, I could see why people were leaving, you know, trying to catch the tube and like all that, but or there are people who are just like, all right, I got to hear one, now I'm going to go because I don't know the next song or I don't need to hear it. So I think it's great. I'm glad they kept it.
Yeah.
Like Jill,
again, yeah.
So like I on the North American tour, my memory is that Love is Bigger sort of like it's kind of was becoming a sing along as the tour went along, right? Like
like the and then people were like waving their hands like this,
right? So
yeah,
how I haven't been able, you know, because I'm usually working during the day, and so I can't pay too close attention to the European shows. But is that like, does the audience know that song, and are they?
They know it, and they start doing the video of like the LGBTQ, like the kids from the music video, I believe. So it's very full, like the screens show the youth, like the trans youth, and it's wonderfully shot and. It's almost like you try to watch the band, but then you also try to watch the video of these young kids, and I think it works with like the European crowd because I believe it's anybody. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I just want to make sure I'm doing it correctly. I think they were all shot in Dublin, and I think so. You know, so I think like European they would understand that, and I appreciated it. And again, it's like, I'm here for the new songs. I'm all very much about it. Like, if you didn't want to stay, then you can leave. But I think they like the ohs and like the hand waving. And so it's still, I thought it was still very much like a sing along kind of song.
Cool.
Yeah, someone on
Yep.
Periscope asked, "Do you think Dirty Day will be played in Berlin last show of the tour?" I wonder, like, because it's being filmed and all. They may, and oh, Jill, I'm getting, I think, feedback from you. Whether they'll play it there or not, I think it's definitely sounds like it's being written for or recorded or whatever produced for Dublin, but they may also do it just in Berlin and sort of include it if they record some of the Dublin shows and kind of like include different segments of it depending on which performance is done the best and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, Jill, I'm hearing myself back. Did your headphones unplug by chance?
Yeah, because my phone is at 6%.
Okay.
First world problems.
Because you've got a nice iPhone that doesn't have a headphone jack.
I got that red iPhone. Thanks, Bono.
Thanks for the headphone issues. Okay. I'm gonna have to kill. Well,
Yeah.
you don't have your laptop handy by chance? Oh, well, now you froze. Okay. Well, that makes the decision for now. Matt, you're still there, right? You're just muted, I hope.
I was just muted.
Okay.
Yes, sorry.
It's like
It's my first time ever doing a podcast, so I don't know what this red button
I
here.
changed the browser for 1 second, and then both of you started misbehaving. Caroline said, people are totally singing along to Love is Bigger, which is awesome. And then Jeff said, earlier this year I made the decision to only see them in Hamburg and not Berlin, and now they do the DVD there, and I'm super sad that I cannot go. Yeah. I think it would be fun to definitely be at a show that gets recorded. I know my voice, if you listen very carefully, can be heard on the which single? Please single that has With or Without You recorded live in Edmonton. I'm way up in the nosebleed section somewhere.
I
singing
heard
along.
that. No wonder it sounds so good.
Yeah, so that's me. You can, yeah.
That's fantastic.
Extreme falsetto.
Yeah, exactly. Extreme falsetto. Oh. And Caroline says she'll be there. So, Jill's having technical issues. Well, you know what? We should probably wrap up because if gremlins are getting in the machine, that means our show is going to start going really poorly really soon. So, but Jill, while you're still working, how can folks tweet at you or 5%? We got 5%. How can folks tweet at you?
Where's Larry? Wait, yeah, I'm like turning my phone this like a weird way. Oh, there they go. Hey, remember No Line? Remember when that album came out?
I do.
Good times. Yeah. When's the? It's off topic. I'm sorry. I'm just.
Oh, it's your show. Go ahead.
It's off topic.
You've got 5% battery
You
left.
got-
Make
yeah.
it work.
I'm just making.
You got to go out with a bang. Yeah.
Saw the chance, took the chance. So the Claw, it's not. Is it in Utah yet or no? Is that next year?
Next year,
Come to
Okay.
Utah.
they're doing. Yeah, I think there's going to be like a grand opening, like in the summer or fall or something like that. So
Okay. Is there gonna be like a ribbon cutting? Like, are they doing that or?
Are you doing like a pilgrimage there, Jill? Is that what
No,
you're trying to
I
spearhead?
went to Utah once to see them. Don't plan on going back. So
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know all exactly what the plans are at this point. They're probably still figuring it out.
okay.
Okay.
I
Anything
was
else?
just wondering.
Okay.
No, I was just wondering. I was just wondering.
You got 4%. What else? Any other pressing YouTube
I'm at
questions?
4. Any pressing YouTube questions? No, I don't think so. Again,
Okay.
I can't believe this is like it. Like, remember in May, like everybody was like Tulsa. Now it's like this is it. Now it's like done.
Yeah.
It's
Could be.
goodbye.
Yeah. Could be a few years before we see them again.
Yeah.
Maybe my credit score will be better by then. So
Hopefully. Yeah. We can all. And we'll figure out ways to charge iPhones without
oh
stealing
my
their headphone
god, I
jacks.
know my red my iPhone, like I dropped it going to the subway, so the whole back is like cracked because it's glass. So it's like, Bono, if you happen to listen to this, can you help a sister get a new fresh red iPhone? Because
Yeah.
it's not a good look for me.
No.
He listens.
So-
He listens regularly, from what we understand. So
Yeah.
Bless.
Yeah. Okay, so Jill, if folks want to tweet at you or anything like that, where can they do that? Do so if they're so inclined.
You can tweet at me. I am at beautifulday36. I'm private, but
Shoot. You'll have to find out next time on the podcast why she's private, I guess. She froze at a very bad time. That's terrible. I'm sorry.
At least she got the Twitter username in.
How about you, Matt?
At Matt McGee is the best place on Twitter. Thank you.
And
It froze on me again. This is like the 5th time. What is going on?
it doesn't like you, I guess, right now.
Is it a full moon? It's Mercury in retrograde. It's a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah. It's Thursday, I mean.
But did you get my Twitter on there? Did it cut off?
Yeah, you got it. We're good.
get it?
We just don't know
Oh,
why you're private,
okay.
but people are going to have to tune in until next time you're on the show to find out why. I'm iChris on Twitter. Twitter.com/ATU2 is where you can find the @U2 site. On Twitter, Facebook.com/ATU2com, Instagram.com/ATU2com. Thanks once again. I haven't thanked him in a while, but Simon Pato is the guy who wrote and recorded the music for us way back when. That's the thing about podcasts. You have no idea who's actually out there listening. But if you're still listening, Simon, we thank you for sending in the music. And Matt's blowing you kisses, and Jill has another go.
No, do we have title? Did we come up with title choices yet? Are we voting?
The voting machine is broken, but we already have the title because you gave it to us.
Really?
Yeah. Where did it go?
Stop.
The Sorry Not Sorry tour.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I'm proud. I'm so happy. It's great. It's great. No, I'm thrilled.
We still need to do the Jill spin-off podcast at some point here, but
I'll talk about dating apps. I'll talk about everything.
Yeah.
We could do a whole, everything. I'll tour the apartment. I'll show more stuff in my closet. We could do it.
Yeah. Okay. Give me a tweet if you want to see the Jill podcast. I don't know. We'll come up with a new name for it, but yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks everybody for listening. Goodstuff.fm/ATU2/89. Goodstuff.fm/ATU2/89 is where you can find links to anything we discussed in this episode, as well as past episodes of the show. Thank you all for listening. Hope you have a great day. Bye. Okay.
Poor Jill.
The struggle. This is what happens when you don't do the podcast for a year, and this is the
You got a
thing.
lot of
'Cause
questions.
I don't think I've been. Who? I got questions? People are asking about me?
No, and I said you have a lot of questions.
Oh, no. Okay. I was like, oh my God, are they asking why I say all the time? Because that I can't answer. I don't know. So I have
Well, they
no
could.
idea.
Maybe they were asking. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
It's
I'm
a
glad
New
my
York
phone
thing, isn't
didn't.
it?
I'm glad my phone didn't die when you played the Kenny recording. It was great. So good.
Oh, so here.
Remember, Wonky Donkey. Look it up on YouTube.
Wonky Donkey. I'm too busy watching Supermarket Sweep on YouTube. I have to add it to my list of stuff.
Oh my gosh.
So you're watching what?
Supermarket Sweep. You've never heard of it? It was a '90s game show. It's you shop and it's shopping in a supermarket. It's great. It's great. It's so great.
How? Okay, is it? You mean it's a '90s? It's like a '90s style show.
It's a 90s game show. I was in 2nd grade, so it was Octoon Baby era.
Right.
And it's teams, 3 teams of 2. It's mostly couples, and you answer questions about grocery store items, and then you guys shop in the grocery store. You buy as many groceries as you can, and whoever gets the most amount, the money wise of groceries, you run through the store and you try to win $5,000, which is a lot of money in 1992. Now it's nothing. Now it
Interesting.
can barely get you 5,000. Can barely get you red zone these days. It's true. It's so true.
I think it's shows like Supermarket Sweep that U2 compelled U2 to do the Pop Mart consumerism angle, right? So
I saw a Kmart it was Kmart, but it was in Paris, but it wasn't a Kmart. I think it was just called Kmart. It was a boutique.
Interesting.
Weird. It was so random.
Okay, I have to apologize. Where am I? Hello,
who are you apologizing to?
everybody.
Oh.
No, just
You don't have to apologize.
No,
Chris.
actually, it's Canadian content rules. I have to apologize every hour.
It runs in your blood.
No, I had miscommunication with Caroline. I sent her a message asking for some audio, just of the because she had been at some recent shows, just with Kenny or whatever, and other folks. And then she misunderstood me, thinking to come on the show, which would have been great as well, but I didn't actually do that part of it, and so she's been watching, thinking I was.
We had a miscommunication.
So if she's watching, I sent her a link to I don't know if it's working for her or not, to just come and chat. But now it's
Well, we'll get her on next time.
yeah, definitely.
It's always
Anyways.
the next time.
Yeah. What's your battery at, Jill? What are
It's
you
at
live?
1%, so I
Okay.
should probably dip right now.
Wow. Jill, thank you for joining us.
There
That was
just-
awesome.
Just froze as
She did just freeze.
I wish I should have taken screenshots every time Jill froze and had like the
That's the best freeze right there. That's
Yeah, that's the most,
The other ones. That would be a good avatar for her.
yeah. The other ones weren't quite so whatever the word is,
Flattering.
flattering.